racism, should we talk about this book?
We could.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dead Formats, a podcast committing unseemly acts to help the video files of Japudu. I'm your host, Chris. This episode, we're going to be discussing a book from 1995 called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Old Man, His Dwarf Helpers, and the Shiny Balls. And this week, I've got two very special guests, a couple of little G-gads. DK, Bones, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, man, I'm glad to see that our turtle communicators are working.
Fuck yeah. Always on the fritz.
Yeah, I just got out of the kitchen putting together a pizza that was already half prepared and has been in the van for, I don't know, several weeks.
Yeah, so if you listen to the show, you know these guys. They're the returning champs from season 1. Bones is 1/3 of the 5-Day Rentals podcast. DK is 1/2 of Nerds, Geeks, in the Kitchen Sink, and also 1/2 of DK and Dan Like Bands. And they're back.
What, you think you're better than me? Full percentage? You're a full pizza?
I'm sorry. I'm coming to you live from my Coca-Cola crate, and I feel safe in here, and I thought it would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even split a pizza into thirds without like having to cut a piece in half further, several pieces in half. I'm not good at math, but these guys were the most frequently appearing guests last season, and they were also the guests in our first episode where we talked about Phantasm Revision. Yes, it is season 2 of Dead Formats.
Welcome back.
Yeah, not a whole lot's changed, really. I still haven't gotten my wisdom teeth taken out.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
I don't know why that bugs me. You should.
That's the thing about elective surgeries. It's like you have to decide yourself, oh, today is a good day for me to have surgery.
I know why it bugs me. Because we had to talk about a Christmas movie the day after Halloween. Because you were going to use the Christmas break to get them pulled.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll just have to see how that goes. Yes, it's like that was probably one of the top 5 worst pains I've felt in my life, but also it only has happened once in 37 years, so I probably won't even live another 37 years.
Do you want me to have Bones call your dentist and pretend to be you and make the appointment just so you don't have to? So we can get it done? How can we help you?
I'll pack my mouth full of tissue. They'll get you in pretty quick, man. If you mention like the dentist is better than the doctor in my experience. Like if you're in pain, they'll get you in.
I recently I don't know if we've talked about this, and this is a very exciting story, but I recently went to the dentist because I was having an issue with an old filling from like 10 years ago. And I had barely any time off from work. I had no time. I had basically this one afternoon, and I was like, well, can you just tell me what's going on? And then we can try to make an appointment for next year when I have more time. And he's like, yo, we can do this. I can fill this right now. I can take the old one out and put a new one in. It will take no time. I have time. Let's go. And I could not believe it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way for anybody. I could not believe it, and it was wonderful. So shout out to that dentist who, by the way, was not even my dentist. I went to the wrong office, and they still saw me.
Yes. I do remember you telling me this off air.
Yes.
Now that you say it was the wrong dentist.
It was crazy.
But yeah, still I have all of my teeth. But other than that, we've got some new theme music, new artwork, possibly a new schedule. Might be going from bi-weekly to tri-monthly, which both of those terms are kind of annoying because bi-weekly could mean both twice a week or every other week. But when I say tri-monthly, I mean 3 times a month, which would still mean the same number of episodes per season, but just that the season won't last as long, and that's TBD, depending on if I actually have time to record and edit quickly enough to make that happen. Probably the same guy that refused to schedule a surgery is also the same guy that doesn't find the time to do that. So we'll see. Other than that, same shit no one cares about. Expect to hear from a more varied pool of guests this year so that there's less of a burden on specific people to make the show happen. Wink, wink.
Are you serious? We want to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you here too, but
we also want other guests to get out there for sure.
Yeah.
But you can always ask.
I know, but it's not your responsibility. Maybe some sort of Patreon. I don't know. Like, some of this shit is pretty expensive. I mean, this book I think was like $80 when I bought it. So,
what?
Yeah, they fetch
upset.
a premium.
Yeah, the cat like that. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
The cat was like, damn.
So can I mean, I was assuming you were going to discuss this. How did you come across this? What is your history with this thing? Was it a phantasm first or a turtle first?
Well, let's see. So I should also say that it is National Pizza Day. That's why this episode had to be first in the season.
The holiest of days.
Yeah, so I actually found out about this shortly after this.
I think National Donut Day would be the holiest of days.
Jesus. What about National Holes Day? Everyone has to watch the movie Holes.
I actually saw that for the first time, like, within the last year. I've never seen it.
Really?
That's too damn bad? Is that the meme from that?
I haven't seen it since literally the theater. I do not remember.
I mean, I was in like 5th grade when the book came out. It was all the rage. I mean, I didn't go out and read it. Our teacher just read it to us. So, which seems weird in retrospect.
Too bad she didn't read this to you.
Yeah, no shit.
Could you imagine sitting in 5th grade listening to your teacher read Alien Contact?
But back to Bones' question, because I need to know how this came to you, because I Googled this. It doesn't seem to exist.
Yeah, so I was going to say,
can't find it.
I'm pretty sure I found out about this very shortly after the three of us recorded the first episode about Phantasm Revision. And I don't know, I was just looking up Phantasm shit. And there's like, you'll know this better than me, DK. There's like famously like is it like a Japanese novelization of Phantasm? So it's like super hard to find.
It's not even Japanese. It's the official novelization. There's only so many copies. It was only one printing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That could be off, but it's something like that. There aren't that many copies. It was only one printing. It's written by Coscarelli's mother. And yeah, I have yet to read it. I have not been able to find it. I'm willing to pay for it, but the prices I'm seeing in the last couple of years are absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, some of them, I mean, some of these like novelization prices get fucking insane. Like I know there's like 3 like Halloween young adult books that are insanely priced. And like, I think just the Halloween 1, 2, and 3 official novelizations are also like super expensive.
I have Halloween 2. The original, and they did a reprint of Halloween 1, just for the Halloween nerds out there. Mm-hmm. They did a reprint of the Halloween 1 version. It's the original text, but it has illustrations, and it's like a massive book. It's huge. Sweet. And it's wonderful. I really, really like it. I think if you're a big Halloween fan, legitimately seek that out. I don't think it's in print right now, but it should be fairly reasonable. I highly recommend that. It's called Halloween Illustrated.
Fuck yeah.
How do you young adult Halloween? Like, is the first chapter like he sees his sister wrestling? Like,
they're like weird sequels where Michael Myers pops up, like, and meets a whole other group of kids. Like, it's almost like Goosebumps. Even the cover art, you're going to go, oh, this is just it seems like, and it's right around the same time. If I remember correctly, it's like mid to late 90s, I believe.
I think so.
And they're just capitalizing on, hey, Goosebumps is really popular right now. Kids love horror, I guess.
And this, what we're going to discuss, is the complete opposite. This is taking the Ninja Turtles and making them, well, correction. I know the comic was a little bit more violent than what the cartoon became, but at what we know of the Turtles now, with the almost like not quite Batman level of, do not kill. Spoiler alert, Michelangelo pulls out a gun and just...
But yeah, because this is like the cartoon version, like happy-go-lucky, but then also like ultra-violent.
Bloodlust, yeah.
It is sort of, I don't, you guys probably know this, but like the original vision of the Turtles was that they were ultra-violent.
Yeah.
So this is in line with that. But by the time this comes out, you said 95?
Yep.
I mean, we've got the Turtles the first 2 Turtles movies, or maybe even the third.
Maybe, yeah, I want to say probably all 3 of them.
They're in there. I mean, those are mega popular. Now I know this is Russian, so I don't know what that looks like over there at that time. But you know, it was probably shocking to people who read it and know them from the more recent comics at that time, or the movies, or even the cartoons, where it's like, this is a family-friendly, kid-friendly thing. There is fucking vile murder in this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, for whatever reason, after Phantasm Revision, I was looking at Phantasm-related shit, and then I found that there's a Russian, kind of like the Alien one, there's a Russian novelization of Phantasm 1 and 2 smashed into one book that I actually have. Fucking amazing artwork in that one.
Why haven't I seen this?
I'm pretty sure I sent you pictures on Discord.
I think you did. It was like a year ago, though, so it feels like those are gone.
And then I think just like going down that rabbit hole, I found out about this whole thing. And so, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Tall Old Man, His Dwarf Helpers, and the Shiny Balls. Released in 1995, written by Miroslav Vyacheslavovich Adamczyk. He's a Belarusian author, son of author Vyacheslav Adamczyk and brother of author Adam Globus, who is the more famous of the 2 brothers. Adam wrote a book called Dama Vicameron, which is described on fantlab.ru as being, quote, considered to be the inauguration of the erotic theme in Belarusian literature.
All right, sign me up.
He was also the author of, quote, the first Belarusian comic book published as a book. Whether that's like a weird translation that means he wrote the first Belarusian comic book, or literally that it was the first one that was published as a hardback, I don't know. But
like a graphic novel, maybe.
Yeah. The guy who wrote this book, Miroslav Adamczyk, who can say how many books this guy's written? At least 86 by what I was able to find.
Shit.
And the majority of them are nonfiction about a wide variety of topics, including All the Secrets of Play-Doh, Developing Fine Motor Skills, All the Secrets and Mysteries of Training a Combat Vehicle from the Brilliant Masters of Oriental Martial Arts in Drawing and Diagrams, The Wonders and Complexities of Plasterboard Ceilings, Construction and Design, A Fun Encyclopedia of Meaningful SMS, and The Big Book of Kama Sutra.
Oh, the big one. The big one. What does that mean? The
definitive.
Does it mean just like the text is bigger?
Yeah, it's for old people.
We need those diagrams blown up a little bit.
Yeah, so he's credited as the author of these books. Either he's some sort of polymath genius that knows everything about everything, but more likely, I think he probably just translated those books into Russian. But he did write at least one more of these Ninja Turtles books, which, by the way, there are at least 12 of these types of Ninja Turtles versus other famous property books. I have like 4 of them, but as I said, they are quite expensive. So,
are there any standouts you can tell us?
Let's see. Which ones do I have? Well, there's 2 versus Batman. I don't have either of those. This one, the guy that I bought it from says that this one is like one of the more rare ones. So that's cool. Let's see. There's versus Predator.
Oh shit.
Which I have that one. Versus Puppet Master. I have that one.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's versus I want to say the name is Barkalab von Gart, but it's just Jason from Friday in the illustrations, it's Jason from Friday the 13th, but like a mixture of Part 2 Jason and NES Jason. So he's got like a bag head, but he's like purple and blue.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like where this guy's. Well, okay, this is a different author, but still, I love this. This is awesome.
It could all be the same guy. What else is there? There's like Batman, Predator. We've already done an Aliens book. That was not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I mean, we know someone who would love to do that Puppet Master one, so I think I would love to hear people talk about that. I don't know if that's in the works, but
no, that's you guys raising. I don't think Well, I can think of like maybe one or two people that I've had on this show that might be willing to read a book, but I don't think Kron's one of them.
Now, you saying that this guy does a lot of nonfiction or adaptation, I can't be blunt enough that this is just essentially what Phantasm 1 through 3.
Yep,
with
just borrowing.
Thinking, does it have anything from?
It doesn't go to 4.
Okay, I couldn't remember because there's like some laser beam stuff with the shiny balls. I couldn't remember if that was in 3 or 4.
Right,
but yeah, I mean, it's
4 comes out in 98, so there's no way.
Okay,
but it's just note for note sequences from those Phantasm movies with one of the turtles.
I think the best description of this is that they took the turtles and then they said, what if we made the tall man and his dwarves and shiny balls a turtles villain? That's what it is. Because you don't get any other aspects of Phantasm in the regards to the characters or anything else. It is just the tall man,
there's no
the dwarves,
like,
and his shiny balls.
They don't like try to replicate like a Mike and Jody relationship in any way, or like there's not a Reggie, which Casey Jones easily could have been Reggie. They could have thrown him in there.
At the end, I have a list of grievances that I will cover.
Okay.
Don't worry, I got you on this.
So, I mean, we've already gone in depth last season about how you guys feel about Phantasm, but how do you guys feel about Ninja Turtles?
Go ahead, Bones.
The cartoon was massive for me as a kid. I mean, I was the right age. And then aside from, watching the movies through the 90s, that was kind of it. I had a 4 or 5 year run where it was, the most important thing ever. And then I pretty quickly just bounced over to Batman, and that was my kid obsession for a while. And I think it was likely just the animated series replacing the Turtles on level of importance and maturity. A lot of the toys. And I'll also say, even as a child, I knew that the third Turtles movie was crap. Like
I
still don't know that.
I thought it was also. I remember thinking, this is a little different, but I don't care. There's green guys on my screen. Let's go.
Hell yeah!
But I wasn't familiar enough with Daredevil as a character to know that this was verging on a parody of them
for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've always been there. I mean, a big fan of the Scott Aukerman miniseries. Like, We Have to Stop Talking About Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or TMNT on CBB. I would highly recommend people check that out, of Scott Aukerman going through the history of the Turtles on film, and I would say that's about it. I mean,
bet
at this
he probably
point,
missed this part of their history.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think they even covered one of the TMNT versus Batman cartoons that came out, but that's about it. I would say at this point in my life, I was more comfortable recognizing the obvious Phantasm rips, but also knowing enough that, like, that's not Donatello. That's what Raphael would say. Like, throughout this book, Raphael's characterization, I was like, that's not how Raphael is.
Yeah, you will like kind of run into weird things like that sometimes with the Ninja Turtles, though, like where someone from the outside just doesn't really understand their like character tropes. I mean, it's a song from the first one, the first film. I think it was by Partners in Crime, where the guy says Raphael, he's the leader of the group. And I'm like, well, that's just, he's my favorite, but he certainly is not the leader of the group. How about you, DK?
Sure. It's going to be boringly almost exactly the same as what Bones said. Like, truly. I loved it as a kid. I loved the movies as a kid. I had the tapes. I had the toys. I also became more of a Batman fan. I stuck with the Turtles through the 90s, and I think that was about it. I never saw the live action. I think there is a live action one, right? I don't even know. Is there like a more recent live action? But they're all
the
CG,
two Michael
right?
Bay ones.
I haven't seen those. I don't know anything about those.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more recent live action ones than those.
If they put people back in suits, I would maybe try to go have fun at the theater, But yeah. I don't give a shit about CG turtles. I just don't want. I don't care. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to see it. Probably my favorite thing with the Turtles was like I did love the toys, and they played well with the other toys that I had. I don't know I don't know why this is in my head, and I don't remember all the exact details. I think I was being babysat, and I was at a friend's house, and his little brother, I could have some of the details wrong. It doesn't matter. This has been 30 years. His little brother was coloring in a shirtless Shredder action figure. There's like a Shredder figure where you could take his shirt off, and he was coloring him in with Sharpie. And I was like, just kind of watching him. And then he's colored him in, and the Sharpie's getting everywhere, and he's playing with the toy, with this other toy, and he walks the Shredder up to this other toy, and the other toy goes, "Hey, how's it going?" And then the Shredder toy says, "I have a disease." I don't know why that was the voice. I don't know if it's one of those things where like a kid hears somebody say that and then repeats it. I don't know why that idea was in this child's head, but like, "I have a disease" has been in my head for 30 years, and it will never leave. So now you get to hear "I have a disease."
Well, props to him for not doing an offensive Shredder voice. Just a soft-spoken Midwesterner.
Hell yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was kind of the opposite. Like, I loved the Ninja Turtles movies. I think I'm just young enough to where like the cartoon was sort of waning by the time I was becoming cognizant. I did watch a lot of Batman the Animated Series, but that didn't like supplant my love for Ninja Turtles, probably because I had the 3 Ninja Turtles movies on VHS. I'm pretty sure we had Batman, but that was probably one that was like locked in the VHS case. Like we had one of those drawers with like the folding doors that has a lock on it. That was probably locked up, probably a bit too adult for my parents to let me just like pull it out and watch it whenever I want. And I still have never seen like the George Clooney one or the one with the Riddler. Like I've never seen those. And I just saw like 1989 for like the first time within the last year since like probably I was a child. So
this is insane to hear this.
The live action Batman movies just don't hold any part in my nostalgia. Like,
those were the holiest events in my childhood. Like
Mask of the
movies.
Phantasm was a big one. That was my movie for Batman.
It was great.
But yeah, Ninja Turtles, like I loved those movies. It's something I bring up constantly in regards to one of your cohorts that ranked one of the movies lower than I perhaps think it should have been. But yeah, the last time that I was still really into comic books around like the 2012 to 2016 era, there was like a new series of Ninja Turtles by IDW that was very good. And at an estate sale once, like 10 years ago, some guy that passed had like the first 50 issues of the Eastman and Laird Ninja Turtles. So I bought those, which was like kind of crazy because there were people like, obviously, you know, estate sales, a lot of it is just like flippers. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for things that they think are quote unquote valuable, but it's like that probably like they don't know that Spawn #1 is like the most printed #1 issue of all time. So they say, oh, that's probably super valuable. No, it's worth like $5. But yeah, so definitely was a big Ninja Turtles guy. Yeah, I would have to say I was on board until Michael Bay. Like even the animated, like the fully CGI animated movie before that, pretty good. Since then, nothing but shit as far, although people say that Mutant Mayhem movie was good. I have no interest in seeing.
Is that animated one Kevin Smith? Did Kevin Smith do a Turtles movie? Does that exist?
I don't think so.
Out of my mind.
That definitely sounds like some rumor that would have been on like internet forums in 2002, like Kevin Smith penned to do the next. Let me look this up.
That may be where it's coming from.
And the Mutant Mayhem, it has that similar Spider-Verse animation style, right? Is that the one that I'm thinking? Because
I actually honestly haven't even seen a trailer for it. I just heard people talking about it. I'm like, I have no interest in this.
Kevin Smith played Diner Cook in 2007's TMNT.
Unnamed cook at a diner.
Okay, great.
Where Night Watcher fights the Jersey Devil.
oh man, there's turtles and shit and stuff like that and shit, right? And stuff like that and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking shit, that shit.
Yeah, balls.
But I think all that to say that the turtles, they continue to just go with every era, right? Like it seems like every generation has their version of what the turtles are, be it that original cartoon or the movies, and they just keep popping up,
Yeah, the most recent, it's called The Last Ronin. Like that's I know a ton of people who say that's really, really good. I don't know if you guys have read it or know what it is,
No,
but
I know what it is, but I have not read it.
I have heard really, really good things, but I just haven't checked in with the turtles in so long.
Yeah, who knows? They're dead to me.
I don't mean to make it sound like we don't like the turtle. I mean, I don't want to speak for Bones, but yeah, I love the turtles as a kid. Just so we're clear, like I'm happy to be talking turtles here. They're classic. So.
Yeah. So I mean, after we did Phantasm Revision, or after we did Alien Contact, rather, that's when I was like, this will probably be the next book, and it's like kind of throwing DK a bone or a bones.
Oh,
it's like. He spent all this time reading this alien thing. I'll give him something that he maybe would have been interested in.
I'll tell you right now, had I been the right age, I would have absolutely loved this book. I really would have loved it, truly.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll get TMNT versus Batman and we can throw Bones a bone.
I'll read it.
It's crazy how much that Phantasm Revision imprinted on me, because as I was reading this, it reminded me of Phantasm stuff that I had kind of forgotten or written out of my head. Like, oh, I forgot about this entire section of 2 or 3 that was cut out or not included in the revision. So, and having covered those, like watched them for the first time in such a short amount of time, I don't think they've quite imprinted on me.
Yeah,
as they have like with DK. So I would be reminded of stuff. Oh yeah. And then my impulse to just be judging continually just came back to, wow, it's a bummer that Splinter's not here. Wow, it's a bummer that Casey Jones isn't here. Why is Leonardo not just slicing the shit out of everything? God. I feel like at one point they mentioned like, Michelangelo, your sword play is getting better. Like,
it kind of seems like they all have all of the weapons in this for some reason. Like they all just use whatever's convenient at the time. Even
when they're disarmed, they still have weapons, and they refer
possibly.
To yeah.
Which one of the turtles, I can't remember, carries a spear?
The turtle spear? The famous turtle spear?
Which one carries a spear?
That might have been Venus de Milo, the female Ninja Turtle from whatever that TV show is called.
Oh my God.
No, I actually don't remember what her weapon was.
Oh, you just reminded me of there was that Turtles fighting game. I had it for Sega Genesis. That was pretty fun.
Fucking amazing.
Some of those games are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the special moves by Shredder, when he does it, I think it's called Aura Crusher, but it sounds like he says whore fucker. He's just like, whore fucker.
Incredible.
Yeah, good game.
They knew what they were doing.
But yeah, should we just start talking about the plot of this thing? I have extensive notes.
Let's slide in.
Yeah. So this is divided into 3 parts. I don't think they really like completely coincide with the 3 movies from what I'm remembering. But chapter 1 is called On the Road, and that's April O'Neil. She gets an assignment to go to the small Himalayan mountain village of Japudu. 2 months ago, its inhabitants disappeared. Local burial mounds, mausoleums, and pyramids have all been pilfered. And the only resident remaining is a very tall, gray-haired man who can effortlessly carry a coffin. April invites the turtles to come along on her assignment as bodyguards. They drive from New York City to the Himalayas. And now that when Bones was just talking about Splinter, I completely forgot that he doesn't come back in this book at all. It seems like they're setting him up for something.
They say, oh, they lost him 2 days ago in the basement of a
public library.
Because he's trying to read some...
he's researching a philosopher. As soon as he became a philosopher, he climbed into a Coca-Cola crate and began reciting his philosophical arguments from there.
Incredible.
Raphael bakes a peach bit into a pizza as a joke. And they mention that they are not going to take their Super Turtle minibus with them because Shredder and his mutants, quote, hate the Himalayas. But they do just like take the minibus because in chapter 2, the Turtles' car breakdown, well, it breaks down when they arrive in the Himalayas. And well, they're like going up a mountain, the engine explodes, brakes go out, some shit like that. They start rolling down the mountain and they crash into a fence. It's like a small village called Falmpur. The bus tips over and falls roof deep into a hole.
That's like the inciting incident of a Michael J. Fox movie called Doc Hollywood. You ever seen that? He like wrecks his car into a fence and the judge orders him to be like the doctor of the...
Isn't that like the movie Cars? Like he wrecks the road, so he has...
I don't know anything about the movie Cars.
Yes, you do. Don't you fucking lie to me.
I don't know where this got started. But yeah, Doc Hollywood is a good example of a PG-13 movie with boobs.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I think that's why it imprinted.
Let me write that down.
Does Michael J. Fox kill a bunch of dwarves with ninja stars?
I wish. Is this, are you getting to the part where Leonardo defies physics?
You'll have to be more specific.
Yeah. Oh, with the hang glider that Donatello puts together for him?
I feel like that's further down the road.
Okay.
So this is like they fall into this hole. They realize it's a grave that's been dug up. They get it out and the fuel pump and fine filter broke, the brakes failed, the drain valve clogged, the wiring gave up the ghost, and the quasi-sensor hose for the uninterruptible traction control of the automatic power supply from the camshaft to the power steering shattered. But Donatello says he can fix it in an hour. He just needs a new pipe. And that exact phrase that I just said is repeated multiple times throughout the story. Anytime they talk about what's wrong with it, he goes through that whole quasi-sensor hose for the you get the idea. I'm not fucking saying it. There's like, they see a house off in the distance. They go there. It's like right past the cemetery. And this is where, you know, unlike Alien Contact, this book has very few characters. And this is when we are introduced to the first original characters, the Shion brothers, who run a hotel and are unperturbed about the turtles' appearance. That is another thing that is always like everyone they run into doesn't really care that there's 4 turtles running around. But the Shion brothers agree to let the turtles stay overnight. They are adamant that do not use any electric stoves, heaters, or irons during their stay at the hotel. Donatello stays up all night fixing the van, but he cannot get it running without a new pipe hose. I guess I wrote, here's just a quote I found funny from Don. Press the brakes harder with your green limbs. The turtles screamed in horror.
There's a lot of those. I have quite a few of those.
That's the type of shit where it's like, are you trying to hit a word count? Like,
yeah.
I think there's also just, I'm not the biggest anime fan. I do like a lot of Eastern cinema. Their dialogue is very specific. Like Eastern media just loves to sort of repeat the same thing. Or like, I'm playing Resident Evil 8 right now, and even like a Resident Evil game has that Eastern mentality of like, oh no, my metal army. You'll never stop my metal army. Like,
yeah,
this one is specific. Like, it's sort of specific. It's like specific in a way that doesn't make it clear at all still, because they're like, I'm remembering towards the end, like someone hits someone and they go flying across the room, and instead of being like, oh, the shiny ball sailed across the cavernous laboratory, it'll be like the shiny ball sailed a couple dozen feet. Like, what?
Yeah.
Just like oddly specific, but still like couple dozen. Okay. So in chapter 3, they hear cats and chainsaws coming from the basement. All the people in this town are standoffish, but luckily Raphael brought 5 prepared pizzas with them. So they go into a cafe and harass the owner into cooking a pizza for them. Raphael and April decide that they need to rent a car to go to Chipudu. They run into Liu Jian, who tells them that there are no car rental places, but that there is an abandoned limousine off a mountain road. And goddamn, April goes to get it, but her hand gets stuck to the car because it's covered in common Arangrut Nimbrurdlefil adhesive, or, as they say in Latin, Drohirum caradra ritnolapic. This is a new synthetic mint green substance. Until recently, it was unknown to science. It was recently discovered at the University of California and obtained by extracting juice from the stones of the Doriafray and the seed of the aerial alacrarinque. A new glue called BUAF was made from it.
I think we all knew this already. I mean, you don't even have to cover this. I didn't even take that note.
Okay, two things. Whenever you start a story, right, or you start on some sort of writing endeavor, you always end up front loading it. You always forget. It's like the equivalent of you're making a sign, like the John Mulaney joke of you start with one big letter and then you realize you don't have enough room. The first act of this definitely has a lot of unnecessary verbose stuff. You now mentioning that the writer is a nonfiction technical writer. I wonder if he was working on this at the same time he was working on a paper about something else.
Just copy and paste.
He did write one of those pharmacy reference guides that's 10,000 medications. I feel like that's kind of what this is.
Well, and this thing that we're talking about, this substance,
BUAF, a new glue.
It comes back only in mention in in the last chapter, right?
One page in the last chapter.
Yeah, just as a casual mention.
Yeah.
It doesn't come back as a story point, a plot point, anything. It's crazy.
Yeah. April, she remembers, I think she did a story, a news story on this glue or some shit. There was a class action lawsuit. I don't really remember. But she remembers that it dissolves in cold. Donatello decides that they should construct a hang glider from the branches of some nearby trees so that they can fly to the nearest mountain peak and get some snow. Also in this chapter, we learn that Himalayan farthings are the currency, which good quote from this is, Don shook his head and pulled out an encyclopedia from his bosom.
That's where I keep mine.
Bosom gets mentioned a lot. Armor gets mentioned a lot. I don't recall if they actually say shell aside from any time they
do.
Okay.
There's a couple shell.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is reading this now and looking back at these notes, it's yes, this is definitely reminding me of Alien Contact in certain aspects, because Bones mentioned earlier the hang glider. I just mentioned that, but now there's a completely unrelated chapter, and then we go back to the hang glider. So the chapter after that is it's the life story of Rhino Rook Torfuna. Wow. He arrived in the Himalayas from Europe in the 18th century, and although he looked elderly, he possessed the strength. Well, I mean, he's a strong guy. If you were to describe his strength, DK, how would you describe the strength of Rhino Rook Torfuna?
He has the strength of a rhino.
I mean, that's pretty good, but I would say that he's probably as strong as three of the most powerful baseball players on the Turtles' favorite team.
Sorry, you teed that up for me, and
the New York Tinks.
Yes, the New York Tinks. But it's only three of them?
Three of the most powerful ones.
Okay, but we know he's way more powerful than three of the New York Tinks.
Yeah. He's over 7 feet tall.
Yeah, but the Tinks be juicing, dude.
Well,
that's true. So does he, with his yellow blood. Yeah, he's 7 feet tall. Alchemist, elixir of life, green blood, renewed periodically, cleanest air, Himalayas. There's a connect the dots somewhere. Doesn't fucking matter. He wanted to conquer the world, so he invented yellow blood that can revive the dead. He created the dwarves, but the dwarves weren't mean enough, and he discovered that in Chipudu, there's an open hell gate, so he could get evil souls for his dwarves, and he took the dwarves to hell using Coca-Cola crates. He refined his green blood into yellow blood, but this means he was weak to cold, and the Xian brothers became his assistants, and he started making some high-flying balls made of lightweight metal labryudium. Cool. But these balls... Okay, so this is Phantasm. The silver balls they kill. He needs brains. Everyone in the Himalayas in this book is an idiot. But these turtles present an opportunity to get some good brains.
Well, and the book is specific that no female brains can be put into these balls. They have to be male brains.
Oh, I must have skimmed. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
So chapter 5, this is the first date with a tall old man. And this is where you come in, Bones, because this is when Leonardo first defies physics with his hang glider.
And he makes it up. I'm trying to recall. I read this like chapter a month ago. He crash lands up on the snow peak and knocks out Rhino Rook.
Yeah, he goes up with the hang glider.
Yes.
I don't think he crashes in. He may not. I think he like crashes next to him and splashes snow on him or something like that.
Tree, and the snow falls from the tree branches onto him. Something like that.
Because it's important to set up his reaction to the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole point of this is that, but he's flying up to the top of the mountain to get snow, to use the cold snow to dissolve the adhesive that has stuck April's hand to the handle of the abandoned limousine. I just got like, if you're in the Himalayas, you don't have to go to the very peak of the mountain to get snow. I'm sure it's just lousy with snow wherever you go. So yeah, he does that. They go to a nearby junkyard. Donatello, he finds a perfectly functional quasi-sensor hose for the uninterruptible traction control system, which automatically supplies power to the camshaft and the power steering.
Thank God.
As we all know. It's fun reading these notes a month after you read the book, because I'm like, I completely forgot that he finds a Harley Davidson in the junkyard, because this is like, has no bearing on the story. It's in perfect condition. But it'll make a great gift. Yeah, it's because it's in perfect condition except for its missing wheels. So he uses some tractor wheels to fix it up.
Somewhere around here in the book, the book tells you that Tall Man's name means Rhino Hand, which is kind of badass. I kind of like the Rhino Hand. Like that makes him sound like a Turtles villain.
Yeah. Like a Bebop or a Rocksteady.
Or a Rhino Hand.
Yeah,
it works. Shredder, Rhino Hand.
In chapter 6, Leonardo's suspicions. Leonardo is like looking for Rhino Rook. We get another like simile of him carrying heavy things because Rhino Rook's carrying a coffin as if it were a pizza box. And Leo follows him. He tries to call the other turtles, but they don't believe him. So he follows Rhino Rook into the basement and finds a room so large that motorcycle races could easily be held in it. And that is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier, how it's specific, but it doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
So large that motorcycle races could easily be held in it.
Now I get it.
He finds a lab with empty Coca-Cola crates stood in rows along the wall. Why are there so many crates of my favorite drink in here?
See, this is where if I'm reading this to the guy or like getting notes from the guy, I would say, no, dude, this needs to be Michelangelo, not Leonardo. Because Leonardo, everybody would believe him. He's incapable of fucking around. Where Michelangelo would be goofy about getting snow on him and then following him and being into the Coca-Cola and everything. Like, my enjoyment of this would have been 10 to 15% better if which turtle was in which scenario was switched up a little bit.
Yeah, and it doesn't just happen a couple times. Like it's almost every time they do anything. You're totally right. They've given the wrong turtle the job or whatever it is. You're totally right.
I feel like, I mean, Donatello, he's pretty spot on because that's just like, oh, he's a nerd that makes things hard to fuck up. And I guess this is a good, like, in 1995 Russia, did they just think we were drinking Coca-Cola by like the 50-gallon drum? Because you hear this, it's translated as Coca-Cola crates, but it's obvious what they're talking about are the barrels that hold the dwarves in Phantasm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we get from A to B on that.
Do you think they're trying to fit it within the Turtles world, or are they trying to say, hey, this book makes it over to the US, we're going to make some money. We got to speak to them a little bit, though. We got to speak their language. So let's make it Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's fundamental understanding of pizza is completely off. So
more than once, and in more than one way.
So I don't think like Domino's or Pizza Hut branding hasn't broken through in Russia or Belarus the same way that just Coca-Cola is. I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, Coca-Cola is probably as American as Mickey Mouse.
Blue jeans.
Yeah.
So they're still avoiding the Noid over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Leonardo, he's chased by a silver ball. He tries to call his brothers via turtle communication. Li Xian knocks him unconscious with an iron club, which takes us to the hotel basement. Donatello and Michelangelo are finishing up installing the quasi-sensory control valve for the automatic power steering camshaft control. They take the bus out for a test drive, which, unbeknownst to them, saves them from 3 silver balls that were about to attack them. The balls had just come out of the oven, and if they didn't find a brain soon, they'd die. So this is a new thing introduced into Phantasm lore, is that, like, yes, they're made of silver, but they're kind of just like a loaf of bread. Like, Rhino-Rook has to cook these balls in an oven for them to be ready, and there's various references to this, and there's also times where it's like, oh, they're not quite cooked yet.
The note I have says the balls are hunters. They can't think on their own until they kill and obtain a brain to be placed inside. More answers here than all 5 movies put together.
Good point. So yeah, 2 balls, they don't get brains in time, so they just die while they're chasing Donatello and Michelangelo. And Raphael and April, they're on their way to Geppetto, so the 4th ball could not reach him either. The 4th ball tries to get Leo's brain, but he tucks his head into his shell, and it instead kills Li Xian.
I think that's first of a dozen times where one of them moves or does something and the ball goes into somebody else. I mean,
it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And Rhino-Rook is pissed that 3 of his balls are dead. The 4th now has the brain of Li Xian, who is an idiot. So he orders Lu Xian to go and sabotage the Turtles minibus. Rhino-Rook heads to the main base in Geppetto, where there are 3 balls cooking in the oven, and he's doing a special experiment there. So Donatello, Michelangelo, and Leonardo get into the bus. They're chased by a truck. After a chase, the truck is thrown into the air, spins 180 degrees, and after falling about 150 feet, crashes into a sheer cliff. The Turtles hear screaming from the truck, and they recognize it as Lu Xian. They want to ask him later why he was chasing them, which is like, how is he not dead? They like hear, there's a horrific car crash. They hear him screaming, and they're like, yeah, we're going to have to ask him later why he was chasing us.
Yeah.
And
what was that about?
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, that's so good.
Donatello again inspects the minibus to see if it is in need of repair. And Chapter 9, Old Man's Finger.
Oh, yeah.
They had cut off his finger earlier, and the finger comes to life, much like in Phantasm. But unlike Phantasm, it begins to tickle Leonardo.
This is where it gets erotic.
Yeah. The turtle felt the old man's finger tickling him too persistently. This procedure was hardly pleasant.
I have a note here that's like a little bit, it's a little off on its own. I don't know exactly when this happened, but at some point, Donatello is hit by something. And the quote I have is, "That blow has exceeded my tolerance." Classic Don.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like the writing of a guy who's like writing some material science textbook.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that really does make it make a little bit more sense. Just that little piece of information.
They try to drown the finger in the bathtub, but ultimately Michelangelo chops it into small pieces, puts it in a pizza box. They set it on fire.
The finger ain't got no lungs. You know what I mean?
I know.
Finger ain't got no lungs. What are you doing?
Chapter 10, The Last Ball. That's a lie. Leo, Mikey, and Don fight some dwarves in the hotel basement. Donatello reveals his latest invention, a multifunctional quantum stone transporter.
Oh, yes.
It's very simple. You attach a battery, use the autolocator to detect a hefty rock, focus the energy on the rock, direct it at your opponent, and that's it. They're defeated.
You could look for a rock with your eyes.
And throw it with your arm.
Will that statuette serve as a projectile? Leonardo asked him, pointing to a marble bust of some Roman emperor. Of course, Donatello exclaimed. This is the most ideal projectile for my transporter. The turtle caught the figurine in his autolocator and prepared to shoot.
Indeed, he did.
Cracked me up.
It does remind me in a fun way of like the goofy physics of Half-Life 2 when you're grabbing shit with the gravity gun.
Yeah.
And just blasting like little dwarf statues at the bad guys. That is pretty fun.
Yeah, so they're being attacked by a silver ball in Legion, which is why Donatello is trying to lift the bust of some Roman emperor. Unclear which one. Unfortunately, he forgets to set the left switch for the automatic reading of the target's quasitropic parameters. Instead,
every time.
Yeah, classic mistake.
He ends up just throwing a ninja star at the ball, and he gets this fucking thing to work, destroys the ball. Shrapnel hits the left switch of the automatic reading of the quasitropic target parameters of the transporter, and it's destroyed. So, yes, just single-use inventions abound in this book.
Again, you would think that would come back. Like there's a part particularly like in the final standoff where this would have been very handy. It could have been a fun thing to bring back, but instead it's not that. It's something else.
Yeah. So they're looking for the old man. They get into a room that Leo was trying to get into the first time he was there. They find a bunch of crates of Coca-Cola and 2 shiny 3-foot-tall poles. Why does the old man need so much Coca-Cola? There are dwarves in all of the Coca-Cola crates. Leonardo goes into the forks, like in the movie, and then the lights go out.
You think the dwarves are just drinking that Coca-Cola? Like, he just was like, fine, guys, you can drink the cola.
Yeah.
No, it's their Bacta.
The pizza party is about to begin, sir.
Oh, yeah. The lights go out in the basement, so they go all the way back to the other village to get a flashlight because they can't find the light switch in the basement. So they go to turn the hotel's transformer box, which for some reason is half a mile away from the hotel. They drive to it. Don goes to turn it back on. The lights mysteriously come back on. Donatello gets stuck in mud. He's surrounded by 12 dwarves. Leonardo is attacked by 7 dwarves. And Michelangelo goes back to the forks, puts both hands on them, which causes them to begin sucking shit into them. The Falmper gates to hell had slammed shut forever, and the dwarves would never appear here again. Don and Leo drive back to the hotel to save Mikey, but as they arrive, the hotel bursts into flames and disappears. Fortunately, Michelangelo is safe. In the middle of this, he somehow managed to cook 3 pizzas with a kerosene lamp. They eat the pizzas and head towards Japudu to tell April and Raphael about their adventure, and that is part 1 of this book.
Is this where he makes, I could be wrong, it might be immediately in the next chapter, but is this where it describes it as a sour-smelling pizza? And then it says that he wraps it in a towel to keep it warm?
That is definitely like some Russian, Balkans, Caucasus, like...
What is that?
Because it's a bread product. You wrap bread in a towel when it's fresh.
Yeah, I guess I'll wrap my next pizza in a towel.
It's like he thinks it's a biscuit or something. He's not aware of the heft of a pizza.
He's not aware of the cheese. He's not aware of the sauce.
He thinks it's like Back to the Future 2 pizza, or you just have to rehydrate a little cookie and it pops out like a
rehydrate some egg powder.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks it's a calzone.
Who has
That's
the time?
Seriously, who has the time?
To make a calzone?
Yes.
It's just the effort,
it's actually,
everything with the calzone sucks.
I feel like it's easier than making a pizza.
No.
Especially if you're not making the crust from scratch. If you just buy the rollout crust from the store.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Why not?
I don't know.
Part 2, Chapter 13, A Deserted Town.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
Are you making a lot of calzones?
I mean, pepperoni is my favorite food, so maybe that's why I love the Ninja Turtles so much. But yeah, I make pizzas and calzones, not strombolis, because those are a little bit more difficult because they're like spiral rolled.
Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe I just need to maybe I need to work on my calzone.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to make your own pizzas, man.
Oh, I love doing that. It's the best. That's a good night.
So this book was like porn to you?
Oh, every page.
Part 2, Chapter 13, A Deserted Town. April and Raphael are trying to get to the bottom of this. They ask an old man at a gas station what happened here. He says, "We lived here for many centuries according to our ancient laws, never disturbing anyone, helping visitors improve their health, but always asking them not to interfere with our customs. We remembered the holy prophecy of the great guru. Do not desecrate our sacred sites, the burial mounds. Otherwise, the souls of our ancestors will return, and great evil will be wreaked upon the earth. And just recently, our ancient burial mounds and mausoleums were devastated. People began finding dug-up graves in the cemeteries. The remains of their deceased ancestors were not found. This was a sign left by the great guru to avoid endangering their lives and the lives of visiting tourists. The residents of Japudu decided to leave the city until the souls of their ancestors returned from whence they came."
I think it's worth mentioning that the city is kind of described, and even in the illustrations, which, by the way, we haven't really talked about the illustrations. The illustrations kind of imply that this is just like a modern city with just like everything you would expect to find in like any standard city anywhere.
Well,
I thought we were like at the top of a mountain.
Yeah, the one where the mansion is, like the second town at the top of the mountain, that is literally just Perigord, Oregon. Like the drawings are just of Perigord, Oregon from Phantasm 2.
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing?
It doesn't match with what I interpret. Yeah, in my mind, it's everything is just at the top of a mountain. And then even later on, when they talk about like a city square and looking for a particular cafe, it kind of hurt my brain. Like everything was just
Roasted Lamb Cafe.
Yeah.
Aren't
aren't some of the signs in English and stuff too? Like, what's going on here?
So I'm looking at a picture that definitely has cafe written out in English. I'm not really remembering a whole lot of text in the illustrations. I do remember one of Raphael climbing up a cliff looking very sad.
Yes. I have a note about that.
Is it Raphael in the one that looks like he and April are about to just start making out?
Probably, because they're together like the whole time.
But the way like they're holding each other is romantic novel cover.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it. If any of them could bag April, it would be him. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any English other than just cafe.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Which perfectly aligns with what happens in the book because they find Fomper. The whole town is abandoned. April goes to the city hall to speak with local authorities or find documents explaining what happened, and Raphael goes into the Roasted Lamb Cafe to cook a pizza. And he says you can't take anything that belongs to someone else without asking, even if you know it doesn't belong to anyone. Words to live by. There is a lot of that in this book of them like trying to like preach morals to kids, but then immediately doing the opposite of what they just said.
Yeah. Or like, kind of like we talked about earlier, there's a lot of like the turtle steps to the side and then someone else gets killed. And I thought at the beginning, oh, that's because they don't want turtles murdering people. But
boy, were you wrong.
Boy, was I wrong.
This whole section is boring as shit, man.
I don't know. We get some good stuff.
It's April and Raphael thing until she's like the fun of her filming everything with a video camera. It was really hard to pay attention to like all this history and shit.
I don't know. I'm looking at the notes and like chapter 14, Raphael is in danger, might have some of the best quotes.
I have. Yeah. I really like this section.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mine starts at like 16.
See, that's why. So he's in the Roasted Lamb Cafe. He finds salt, pepper, cinnamon, and egg powder. You could make a pizza out of this seasoning alone, he says. And he does. He makes a pizza. He goes to look for April, only to find a strange, attractive woman loading luggage into his limousine. He confronts her, and he finds out that she's ugly. There is some racism, not only against Asians, but against another group of people in this book, and it is jarring. This woman pulls a gun on him, quote, a revolver that can pierce not only my head, but also my armor at close range. She tries to shoot him, but he tucks his head into a shell, and he keeps doing that until she runs out of bullets. Two men approach, one a short man in a hat, the other 8 feet tall. The tall one knocks Raphael unconscious with a baseball bat, like a New York Tink, if you will. He breaks Raphael's turtle communicator, which will be mentioned in every chapter constantly for the rest of the book. And the boss orders the tall guy to search Raphael's mouth for gold crowns. Raphael had neither gold crowns nor gold teeth. His teeth were perfectly healthy, shiny, white, and large. He always brushed them and rinsed his mouth after meals. And when he had nothing to eat or was very nervous, he chewed Orbit sugar-free anti-caries gum.
Incredible.
So he just had to explain dental hygiene to his child, right? That's what's...
See, the turtles do it.
Yeah. He just had to pay a hefty dental bill.
That's exactly what this was.
He just had his wisdom teeth taken out.
Well, at least he scheduled it.
Hey, in Soviet Russia, wisdom teeth schedule you. So the Marauders are trying to they're discussing what to do with Raphael. Doesn't he really know what to do with this biological turtle-like trash that has absolutely nothing left to take?
Did you skip over the descriptions of these thugs? There's some pretty good.
I think I might have, because one of them was super racist.
Well, yes.
But yeah, the other two go off.
Well, just the names, like Fripp Ragged Ear. He had a papier-mâché ear that he kept losing, so he just stopped wearing it.
Yeah.
Shorty Bill, the leader.
He had been short for as long as he could remember.
He always wanted to grow up, so from childhood he smoked cigarettes, drank gin, snorted crack, and walked in the mushroom rain without a cap or umbrella. What the fuck does that mean?
Is that like also acid rain? Like,
but the fact that they say he snorted crack to try to grow up. That's good stuff.
Good times. Forgot about that. So this group of 3 people, they arrived in Japudu a month ago, and Rhino Rook agreed to let them do whatever they want in the city as long as they dig up 3 or 4 graves a day. Shorty Bill and Leonette, which is the woman's name, they go to the hospital, leaving it up to Fripp Tattered Ear to dispose of Raphael, and they do discuss eating him at one point.
Mm-hmm. And I think a gang of thugs, looting a town that's been abandoned, that's pretty Phantasm. I mean, that's right in line with some of the stuff you get even in 2 and 3. So, yeah, I get that puts you in the right place, I think, for Phantasm.
Yep. April, she's like investigating the hospital. She goes to the Roasted Lamb Cafe to find Raphael. He's not there. She leaves a note and heads towards the hospital. She finds that almost all of the graves in the adjacent cemetery have been dug up. And she sees the limousine and believes that Raphael must have discovered something and went there to investigate on his own. She finds Leonette turning corpses into dwarves inside this hospital, and she discovers an autoclave device that is the oven in which silver balls are born. Leonette and Shorty Bill spot April and chloroform her. They discuss that the 3 balls will soon be ready. Rhino Rook will want to use the gang's brains to complete them, and that these 3 people need to leave Japudu before that happens.
So when they introduced these Marauders, I thought for sure, we're going to get the Home Alone kid.
Tim.
Hanging out in one of these.
Tim. Well, we do get a reference to Tim.
Yeah. Michelangelo, I think, becomes Tim for a second.
Yep.
I was hoping they were going to have him say, like, you're in trouble.
I say it to Zora all the time like that. You're in trouble.
I have a disease.
I have a disease. I'm so glad that this is in the world now.
So Fripp Tattered Ear, he has Raphael in the trunk of a different car. He's pushing that over a cliff. But Raphael, being, as is well known, more turtle than man, could, like other turtles, withdraw into his shell and therefore contract and expand. I just really like that sentence because of how many commas there are in it.
Yeah.
He escapes at the last second and goes back to the Roasted Lamb Cafe to find April's note.
I have a line here. That's what it means to exercise regularly and keep your body in perfect position or condition, Raphael praised himself. I wonder how April is. Maybe she needs help.
Well, and just before that, April had said, "Oh my God, what a nightmare. Who committed such barbarity here?" And then she asked herself, "I seem to have seen dug up graves somewhere before." Exactly. I saw several similar graves in Foundpur. Literally yesterday, April. Literally yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, he finds April's note at the cafe, but he's like, no, I need to eat a pizza really quick. So he does that instead. And meanwhile, April comes to at the hospital. She's on a conveyor belt about to be incinerated. She pretends that she's still asleep and she's waiting for Leonette to untie her. April is able to escape at the last second and throw Leonette into the furnace.
Unexpectedly brutal death there.
Yeah, I forgot April kills someone.
Yes.
We're back from a little break, and one thing we didn't talk about was the process of me getting this book translated. So if any season 1 listeners are out there, you'll remember Alien Contact was also machine translated, and it did not make any sense. Lots of M dashes in that book, which I found out by translating this one in a much better method, that M dashes is what they use for quotation marks in Russian orthography. And a lot of things like made sense about Alien Contact once I knew that. But yeah, I mean, this, like, basically I was able to, for Alien Contact, what I ended up having to do because of time constraints was just feed pictures into like a Google image translate. Didn't work out well. This one, I actually took the time to edit all the text, which took a very long time, but resulted in a much more readable book. Like, yes, there are plenty of awkward phrases, but I think we all commented on this in our little Discord chat. Much easier to read and absorb than Alien Contact.
So when's Alien Contact retranslated coming out?
Never.
When are we doing that?
Never.
But no, this was so much easier to read. This was a quick read, really. I mean, this was, and I really appreciate you taking the time. I didn't realize you had put that much time into this, like to make our lives that much easier. Because this was a fun, I'll say right now, this was a fun thing to read. In the same way that I love like watching weird, maybe not the highest quality movies. This book was a fun, like, what the fuck artifact. It was great. So yeah, I appreciate your time on that.
You're very welcome. I mean, I would say while Alien Contact, not a fun read, like the act of reading it was not fun. Thinking about it in hindsight and how insane it was, I think it benefits from having a terrible translation. Like
I'm just thinking of that second half, and I'm like, I don't know what that was.
That's kind of what was missing in this one for me. Is like it makes too much sense.
Yeah, there's times where this feels like it's written by an 8 or 10-year-old.
Yes,
or for an 8 or 10-year-old.
Yeah,
or both.
Yeah. So, and I'm calling it like we're only doing 1 book per season at the most, maybe 0 books next season.
Yeah. So anytime you want to, watch another Incredible Hulk made for TV movie.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah. So good.
Beautiful.
Good old John Novak. Canadian creep extraordinaire.
The Canadian king.
Where were we? So,
Chapter 17.
April murders Leonette, and we get the appearance of Rhino Rook and Japudu. We haven't seen old Rhino Rook in a while. What was he doing while the fearless turtles and April were fighting the old man's guards? I thought, there's all of the omniscient things go. Like, this was like a really weird textual fourth wall break where it's just like, I don't know. It stuck out enough to me to write that down, where it's just
almost like the narration is like, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you. Here's what. Yeah, exactly. It does. It has a strange element to it where, almost fourth wall breaking, I think is a good way to describe it.
And we learn that Rhino-Rook uses the Hellgate in Japudu to teleport to Falmper. He bumps into April as she's running out of the crematorium. The old man lifted April and tossed her aside as if she were not a person, but a lightweight papier-mâché doll.
Are you kidding me? April screamed, not yet aware of this old man was the boss of the establishment. Let me go immediately. You, old man, have an unhealthy imagination. No one anywhere is allowed to grab just journalists, especially when they're on important assignments. It's like, wow, shit's, Don Lemon should have had this on the ready.
Raphael arrives at the hospital and sneaks in using a fire escape. How I love this wonderful climbing device, thought Raphael. Ladders like these have saved us more than once. Okay.
Let's appreciate ladders.
Raphael sees April being drugged by a dwarf and hides. He grabs a large vase and, waiting for the dwarf to pass him, the turtle immediately placed the vase on her head and gave her a kick in the ass. Really could have used that rock lifting device.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Raphael sees Fripp walking down a hallway. A silver ball zips past Fripp's head and cuts off his other ear with steam.
Poor guy.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah. Raphael watches the ball brutally murder Fripp, but he waits until Fripp is already dead, and then he kicks the ball like a soccer ball and flattens it with a stool. Raphael goes outside to steal the limousine and leave, but he finds Shorty Bill passed out drunk inside the limo. Raphael is able to drag Shorty Bill out of the limo without waking him up. Rhino-Rook turns Fripp's body into a zombie with his yellow blood, knocks Fripp's front teeth out, and then tells Fripp to go find the oldest coffin in the coffin room and have a good rest. April wakes up. She and Raphael repeat to each other the events of the past few chapters, and they decide that they need to go and find April's turtle transmitter to call for reinforcements. They look around the hospital, cannot find the transmitter. They go into a lab. They find a cryostat machine filled with human remains. They deduce that the tall man is in charge and is using dead bodies to create dwarves using the yellow blood. April mixes acid into the blood to sabotage it.
Now, that is important later.
Yes, that actually comes up. And here we get Chapter 19, Golden Killer Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Shorty Bill wakes up. He thinks that Fripp and Leonette have conspired with Raphael and April to steal the limo. He finds April and Raph and attacks them. He hits Raphael on the shell with the blunt end of a hatchet, which knocks Raphael out somehow.
Is that fourth time he's been knocked out so far?
Yes. Raphael is... everyone's constantly getting knocked out. April is constantly getting tied up and then immediately escaping and then immediately getting tied up again. It's good shit. Shorty Bill has April in a chokehold. All the while, a silver ball is zipping about. April knees Bill in the stomach and breaks free, and as she does, the ball flies towards Bill. He attempts to stop it with his hand, but the ball pierces his palm, drags him 10 feet, and pins him to a door. And a new ball emerges from the laboratory, a ball of improved, more sophisticated design, no longer silver, but golden.
Two elements just ripped from Phantasm 2. The guy getting his hand stuck to the wall with the ball and the golden ball.
Yep.
And I think we slipped past it, but there's a quote from Tall Man, and there's something interesting that he says here.
Torfuna.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He says, "Who could have so disfigured my shiny ball?" The old man thought. "Probably that red-haired journalist who gave the dwarf the slip. I'll have time to deal with her later, but right now, I should think about strengthening the ball's shells. Thank God there are still 2 left." He thanks God. That's pretty not Tall Man. You know what I mean?
Especially in this one where it's not either a different dimension or planet. It's literal biblical hell.
It's strictly hell. And there are demonic souls being put into the demons, into the dwarves.
Well, maybe his god is Satan.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I retract everything I just said.
The golden ball is heading straight for Shorty Bill, and he decides that he has to cut off his arm with a hatchet to escape. April wakes Raph, and the golden ball gives chase. Raph and April find a room to hide in, but the golden ball burns a hole in the door. The golden ball cannot see April and Raph through the smoke it created when it burned through the door, so it uses a red beam to scan the room for signs of life and blows up a rat that is caught in its gaze. They escape into another room with a stronger door to find that Shorty Bill is already hiding in that room. Bill grabs...
there's a line with the rat. Yeah, the poor rat was blown to pieces. It's still good that this rat isn't Splinter, Raphael thought, and touching April, whispered, "Come on, quickly, to the door. Let's run before this ball hits her," whoever he finished off there.
They escape into another room with a stronger door to find that Bill is already in that room. Bill grabs April with his bloody stump, and just as he's about to kill her with a hatchet, the golden ball drills through the door and pierces Bill's back. Sharp teeth emerged from the ball, circling its circumference. The ball crawls into Bill's brain, and Raph and April run out of the hospital.
We must escape from this vile guy.
Ryan Rook goes into the Hellgate to go back to Falmper, but he can't find the exit. Dwarves tell him what happened and why it's closed. He fills a hearse with dwarves and drives off after April and Raphael.
I just imagine, the Dragula video.
Yes.
Just bopping with 30 dwarves.
Oh, that's great.
So earlier, Raphael hid the limousine somewhere, and him and April are back at it looking for the turtle transmitter, the fabled turtle transmitter. Tall man arrives. Raph tells April to distract him while he finds the revolver that he hid earlier. He doesn't have very many bullets, but he accidentally knocks over a small bag from which fell a gentleman's kit, a shaving brush, a pack of blades, a safety razor, cologne, and shaving cream. The turtle immediately figured out what to do. And what he's doing a Tim.
Hell yes.
He finds a Frisbee in this gentleman's kit, and he starts attaching razor blades to the edges of it. And the tall man is doing a join us or die. Probably that nasty, cloudy yellow liquid to become the same little freak. Raph throws the razor blade Frisbee, cuts off Rhino Rook's head. He kills 6 dwarves by shooting them with a revolver.
Out of nowhere. It's like, whoa.
And the tall man's head comes to life and rolls towards its body. The body reattaches the head. Rhino Rook pulls out a vial of yellow blood and starts drinking. April and Raph jump into the car and speed off, but they are pursued by the revived tall man in his hearse. During this chase, Raphael finds April's camera, which is also this thing that they're constantly looking for and talking about. He also finds a box of grenades and throws a grenade under the wheels of Rhino Rook's hearse, but somehow the grenade flew along some kind of intricate trajectory and landed 10 feet in front of their car. It explodes under the limousine, and Raphael, not wearing a seatbelt, was ejected from the car like a cork from a bottle and ended up in the city pool.
And it describes the flip just like the Cuda flip in Phantasm 2.
I didn't catch that.
That's why I'm here.
Rhino Rook approaches the injured Raphael, who pulls the pin from a grenade and stuffs it into his shell. The tall man, not wanting Raphael to blow himself up, leaves with his dwarves.
Also, directly from Phantasm 3.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one that was from.
Yep.
I guess that's probably right at the beginning.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's right at the beginning. Yeah.
Because doesn't it start at the end of 2? Right after a car crash? Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, well, Mike looks weird.
Yeah, what's going on with Mike here?
So, Raphael rescues April's camera. This is a chapter called Raphael's Heroic Deed, and his heroic deed is that he rescues April's camera from a car wreck.
But he states that he wanted to, quote, send this camera back into oblivion, which is a fucking Phantasm reference for a movie that doesn't exist yet.
Wow.
Oblivion. This guy knew what he was doing.
So they see a car approach. They hide in the Roast Lamb Cafe. Chapter 22. The turtles are together again. Finally. The other 3 turtles arrive in Japudu. We have no choice but to contact April and Raphael via turtle communication. I'm absolutely certain of it. Just as I'm certain I'm the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
There's another
good shit.
Oh,
I also
Bones.
like.
No,
I
please.
love how they're like, we have no choice but to contact April and Raphael via turtle communication. Oh, we have no choice but to do the most obvious and easiest thing.
Yes. I was just going to say, this is maybe my favorite joke in the book. It's right around this area when they're coming into town, the rest of the turtles, and they see the things in the road. And Donatello says, yes, indeed. The streets of Japutu are full of laundry.
At the end of that chapter, once they're kind of reunited, Raphael says, oh, and I don't feel quite whole. Everything hurts. My head hurts. My body hurts. My shell hurts. Even the bandages on my elbows hurt. April petted the turtle. Calm down, Raphael, she said gently. You can't worry. How can I not worry when I haven't fulfilled one wish? What other wish? April asked in surprise. And guys, remember this for your ladies. Protect your body, and especially your head, from all kinds of shocks, cuts, wounds, and sores.
See, I have a lot of quotes written down from this chapter, but that was not one of them, because this thing is just fucking packed with great shit.
Yep.
So the wreckage of the limousine is still burning, and the all-knowing Donatello, having carefully examined what remained of the limousine, said, the car was involved in an accident as a result of an explosion, and apparently the car exploded recently.
Some Aragorn shit. 2 turtles lay here, their hands bound.
And it looks like pizza's back on the menu because they go into the Roast Lamb Cafe.
Yep.
They talk about what they've been doing. They decide to make a pizza. This cafe has everything you need to make a great pizza. Flour, tomato paste, egg powder, salt, and pepper. They just don't have cheese, so the filling will have to be made from canned fish.
The cheese is not a filling. The sauce is the filling, if there's a filling at all.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, on a stuffed crust pizza, which
but
we're close to at this time, right? I mean, that's late 90s.
For sure. Or like, the Bigfoot pizza is happening, I'm sure.
I don't think this guy ever had a pizza.
I think you're right. All his knowledge, all his technical ability, all his wisdom of all these different things, but this man never had a pizza.
Yeah, because I find it hard to imagine that in a restaurant, like, canned fish is like the most appropriate replacement for cheese. If anything, just leave the cheese off.
Well, you can't say you have everything you need to make a great pizza and not have cheese. I'm sorry, but I won't accept it.
Mm-mm. It's just after that, he says, don't remember how we ate so many of them on our last trip, something filling. I just happened to have a jar of wonderful strawberry jam lying around. Oh, that's my favorite jam, Leonardo exclaimed, but I've never had it with pizza. You'll try it now, Donatello replied. I promise the taste will be unforgettable. Then bring the jam quickly, shouted Michelangelo, who had already poured flour into the bowl. Just a minute. I'll just remember which drawer I put the can in. There's so much space in the minibus.
Are they implying that the jam went with the fish? Because if that's the case, what are we doing?
I think this might be, since we're not like the biggest fans of the cartoon, I certainly haven't watched it since I was a kid. I do think this was like kind of something they did on the show a lot, where they just had like gross pizzas, but not anchovies, because that's right, fucked
of course.
Up.
That's beyond the line.
Yeah. Oh, but that was their response though to the fish, because when Raphael said, "Oh, we'll have to use canned fish," they said, "Oh no, Raphael!" cried Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Donatello. So they were even like, this is in that era for sure of like no anchovies. Like that seemed to at least cross the ocean.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna say, anchovies, top tier pizza topping. Fight me.
I don't mind them. No, I don't mind them. I don't get them often, but if they're an option, I will consider.
Definitely, if I make a pizza at home, that's going on there, because that is something, I eat pizzas with one other person all the time that doesn't like that. So, and they like kind of infect the rest of the pizza with their scent.
Sure.
So,
and house.
Yeah. The only way I can have them is if we're getting 2 separate pizzas. Which is fine because I fucking hate mushrooms and she loves them. So.
You can't say it's a texture thing while being a fan of an anchovy, though.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
It is, though.
Ugh.
That's crazy.
Mushrooms are so it kind of depends on the mushrooms, what kind of mushrooms they are. If it's a texture thing, that's what it is for the most part. But I gotta say, like a couple of years ago, she asked me to cook a bunch of Thai food for her birthday, and one of the things she requested was tom kha, the base of which is oyster mushrooms, and I made it. And as like I was making it and then I tasted it and I was like, oh my God, like I almost puked. And I was like, I think I might have fucked up her soup. I don't think it's supposed to taste like that. Cause I've had it at restaurants and it didn't taste like that to me. They're probably not using like the freshest of mushrooms at a restaurant, but she got home later and she's like, I fucking love this. Whoa. Because it just tasted like oyster mushroom broth. And I was like, that's fucking disgusting. I almost puked tasting my own food.
But it is funny that you are fine with an anchovy.
I mean, they just kind of just taste like salt with a little bit of fishiness.
Yeah.
A little bit of fishiness goes a long way, though.
I think so. Goddamn, talking about pizza forever. But if not this episode, which?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's National Pizza Day, for Christ's sake.
National goddamn Pizza Day. If and when I have anchovies on a pizza, you don't try to hide it. You lean into it. Like you go anchovies, roasted garlic cloves, onions. Like you lean into that salty pungentness.
Yeah.
I know we're just like saying a bunch of shit Bones doesn't eat right now, so.
Even when I did eat meat, I wouldn't really touch fish, so. But I agree that, like, if I'm going to put toppings on a pizza, I'm going all out. So if I either just want a cheese pizza or whatever vegan variant I can get of that on my search of trying to find that, or I want pineapple, jalapeno, some sort of, like, Thai chili sauce. Like, I either want it to just be classic or a punch in the face. So I get that.
It's respectable.
Yeah, I mean, I am not one of those people that's like, pineapple on a pizza, that's fucking sacrilege. But because pineapple is one of my favorite fruits, just not really like hot. I will definitely eat a Hawaiian pizza, but it's not something I would ever just order for myself.
No one has said anything that I don't want on a pizza yet. I think I just like pizza.
I've been doing a lot of broccoli on pizza.
It's good if you don't overdo it. I had one, we were in Chicago and I had one and I ordered broccoli and it was like and it was a deep dish and it was like broccoli all the way through. And I was like way too much broccoli. There was not enough of everything else. And that really kind of put me off of it. But in general, I do I'll go for broccoli on a pizza for sure.
One of the few restaurants that we were comfortable going to like over lockdown was this pizza place that had a decent patio and they were doing their best to observe like social distancing. So we would frequent there and they had a really good customizable thing where you could do like whatever individual cheese or like separate type of cheese, separate type of sauce and up to 3 toppings. And then they had like, you know, a page of like 12 like classic, what they refer to as like their combinations. And they had this jerk sauce and I came up with, it was jerk sauce instead of marinara, pineapple, jalapeno, and roasted red peppers. And it was like the best thing ever. And I got that thing
sounds good.
Like 12 times in a row. And one of the waitresses was like, did you get this last time? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's a really interesting combination. And I was like, well, my hope is that I can develop a custom one that enters your menu.
That they call the bones.
The bones.
Well, no, I wanted to call it, in reference to the Seinfeld episode, the jerk store called.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been trying to, I can't find that similar sort of Thai jerk sauce that they used, but jerk flavoring is one of my favorite.
So is there, every city tries to do this or every state, is there a St. Louis style pizza yet? Have they invented this thing that they have just acted like has always been around?
Yeah, and it's atrocious.
It sucks. No,
sucks.
I'm glad you said that, Bones, first, because I was about to say the same thing. It fucking sucks.
It's generally a thin pizza, but what really makes it is Provel cheese, I think.
It's the worst cheese. It's not good.
It sucks. Emo's is the big St. Louis area, but no, I'm
looking at pictures of this Provel cheese. Doesn't look good.
It does seem to be you love it or you hate it. I don't really know anybody or met anybody that's kind of indifferent on it.
Yeah, I mean, while I did grow up eating like weird processed foods, cheese was never one of them. Like, even as a child, like Cheese Whiz disgusted me. I may not have ever actually eaten it because it just looks gross. So when I see like something like this block of Provel cheese that appears to be super processed, I'm like, yeah, I probably wouldn't like that.
I mean, $1.25 Totino's pizza is substantially better than an Emo's pizza.
I can only agree with you. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oof.
A lean cuisine French bread microwaved pizza is gourmet compared to a fresh Emo's, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
They've really been trying to do a lot of Detroit style here, but it really hasn't carried on, like picked up.
Yeah, there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no Albuquerque style pizza or New Mexico style pizza. But I do remember when this sort of thing started going on, like we were on a road trip. This was probably like 10 years ago, and we were at some place that was like in Colorado saying this is Colorado style pizza. And it's like, I lived here 20 years ago. There's no such fucking thing. They all just come up with it and act like, no, this is how we've always been doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I would have to look up the provenance of Detroit style pizza to see how long that's been around. But basically there's New York and Chicago, and everyone else is just fucking lying.
Yeah.
The food scene of St. Louis just in general is really weird. I would put us, like, I'd take the Pepsi challenge with a lot of other cities as far as like beer. And every few years you get like this push of like one of the breweries trying to open up a pizza place or doing like a buy the slice sort of thing. And I always try to give them like the benefit of the doubt and try it. But the best place so far opened like right before the pandemic, and they're in a really shitty part of town that I hate to go to. But they were the first that like did a New York style like perfectly. And unfortunately, they just never seem to last. And just because that quality is like hard to reproduce, it seems like. And you're either taking a loss on it.
Yeah. I mean, I've only been to New York once for like 36 hours and didn't eat pizza there. So I've never really had like authentic New York pizza.
Sparrow. Just get a Sparrow.
Yeah. I lived in the South for a long time. Not a lot of Italians there. Every Italian restaurant was actually owned by Albanians. And here there is a pizza chain that is very popular. I like it, but I would never say it's amazing. And I'm not going to name that so as not to get backlash.
Big Pizza has become
anyone here knows what I'm talking about though. So I guess it's fucking Dion's. It's just like our version of Domino's or Pizza Hut or what have you. Yeah. National Pizza Day. We're getting down to brass tacks on this pizza conversation, but
it's very, very, important to the Turtles discussion.
It is. Back to chapter 23, visit to the supermarket. This is another, Phantasm 3 scene, I think.
2.
Okay. Using a master key that Donatello invented, the gang breaks into a supermarket and takes gas cylinders, an axe, a sledgehammer, a shovel, an ice pick, a hammer, a blowtorch, drill, ropes, safety harnesses, climbing boots, a plunger, and a welder's mask. Michelangelo finds a machine gun. The others convince him to leave it at the supermarket, take a chainsaw instead.
Like, that's somehow over the line. The machine gun is somehow over the line.
Yeah.
With everything else they're doing?
It's even funnier because he just immediately finds a pistol and takes that.
Yeah.
Donatello also still needs microchips, an LCD screen, some capacitors, and a few other small items to fix the turtle communicators. But they just he does fix it. It's the one part of the story that they don't go into detail because it's just fixed in like the next chapter where they storm the hospital. They arrive to find that the hospital has been boarded up. The team splits up. Donatello will enter through the sewers. Raphael and April will enter through a window, all caps. Leonardo and Michelangelo will enter through the front door using their flamethrower and chainsaw. They are met by dwarves, but easily escape. And once inside, Leonardo and Michelangelo are confronted by a talking dwarf in the crematorium who runs away to alert Rhino Rook. So I feel like they kind of like Jawa chatter a little bit in the movies.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that they talked?
I think they communicate with each
like,
other, but they don't speak to any of the characters that we're aware of, not that I know of. So yeah, this is just a choice.
Mikey and Leo are in the basement. A dividing wall lowers from the ceiling and separates them. Michelangelo is attacked by Fripp Tatterdeer, who has been turned into a bio-robot. Fripp strangles Michelangelo, who stabs Fripp with a drill. Fripp was starting to get angry that, with his size, strength, and ability to feel no pain, he couldn't handle some little G-Gad. Don't know.
What is it?
Yeah, you probably should bleep that just to be safe.
You never know.
You never know what you just said.
Yeah. This fight is brutal, by the way.
Yeah, because Mikey pulls out the pistol and unloads a clip into Fripp's head.
Directly into his head, knocks out all his teeth, and then chainsaws him right up Johnson Street.
He sure does.
And then he just splits in half and falls down, which is awesome.
And the whole time, Leonardo is just trying to like burn through a wall.
Yeah.
Like it's an entire
He's like
chapter.
Qui-Gon on the Trade Federation ship. Yeah, so then after Michelangelo does that to Fripp, he's attacked by 4 dwarves. He kills 2 of them with throwing stars, but more dwarves come out. 13 dwarves subdue Michelangelo and begin dragging him down a hallway. But luckily Donatello arrives, taking out 7 dwarves at once with a single swing of his bow staff, and Mikey and Donnie take out the other 6 together.
One thing from that, I like the line, "From trouble to misfortune." From trouble to misfortune. And also, it very clearly sets up the scene from part 2 when Reggie uses the double shotgun. Mm-hmm. And he kills 4 dwarves with 1 shot. This is exactly what it is, but he kills 4 dwarves with 2 ninja stars.
Yeah, and 7 with 1 swing of his bow staff.
Hell yeah.
Is that, I'm working like a brave tailor, Don exclaimed. I should sew myself a black belt and write on it, "The wearer of this belt kills 7 at once."
I have that exact quote. Yep.
So, chapter 26, Raphael on the roof. Raphael is fighting dwarves on the roof, just like the title of the chapter. April's filming it. One of the sharpest-eyed dwarves discovered April filming the turtles' heroic fight. The dwarf was outraged by the fact that their shame would be captured on film. Raphael is hurling dwarves off the roof of the hospital, which allows some other dwarves to capture and bind April to use as bait in some non-specific trap. Raphael calls for help on his turtle communicator.
This, as Bones said earlier, this scene is pretty fun and would probably translate really well to like a live action or whatever, to a visual medium. You get that footage of that she's shooting and seeing the turtles just like, messing them up. All those dwarves, throwing them off the rooftops, all that stuff would be pretty fun to watch, I think.
Can make a great found footage of the dwarves' shame captured on film.
Yeah, I bet she wins a golden Oscar for it.
You better believe it.
Which brings us to chapter 27, the chapter title of which...
Go on, say it. Say what it is.
The Turtles Cunting. I don't know what that means, especially like the chapter has nothing to do with it.
I think it's a mistranslation of cunning.
Yes.
But this, it's like legitimately jarring to see that word on the page. Oh, man.
Yeah, I was just skimming through it before actually reading it, and I saw that, and I fucking lost it.
I love that you didn't change it. You
No.
could have changed it.
No. This chapter is their cunting.
It would be that like that lady that tried to fix that fresco. That painting of Jesus.
Can't ruin a masterpiece like this.
Oh.
30 dwarves are guarding April. They take her to the lab and Raphael gives chase. It's possible the dwarves will start descending the stairs now. That's their weak point. No more than 7 or 8 dwarves can fit on the stairs. That's classic dwarf weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of you have this other great line from the Turtles Cunting chapter written down?
I have one from Tall Man, but I don't have one. Oh, what is it?
So they kill all the dwarves, and Michelangelo exclaims proudly, "In this situation, we looked like real superheroes from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series."
What is that about?
As sure as I'm the Ninja Turtle, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
There's a moment, it's right around here when Tall Man essentially says, "Hey, who left the door open?" It really made me laugh.
Chapter 28, Leonardo's fight. He's still trapped. He finds an iron escape hatch filled with dwarves and burns them all to death with his blowtorch. Rhino Rook appears from the hatch. Leonardo shoots him with a blowtorch, but the tall man is unfazed. Some dwarves come and tie up Leo to take him to the laboratory. "Hey, Rhino Rook," Leo exclaimed as he was dragged out of the room. "You can't keep your future ally tied up. I've been thinking about it and agreed to become your best friend. I promise not to fight you or your dwarves again."
Leo's really cunting in this moment. Like,
serving.
Yeah.
I've always thought of him as the cuntiest of the turtles. But Rhino Rook doesn't buy it. Leonardo realizes that Rhino Rook doesn't like the cold, because I think he just remembers his hang glider incident from earlier. Rhino Rook and the dwarves leave Leonardo in the laboratory. He's able to free himself and call the others on the turtle communicator. They devise a plan to freeze the tip of Leonardo's ninja spear and stab Rhino Rook with it. Which, I mean, appropriately, the next chapter is Spear for Rhino Rook.
Okay, at the end of 28, they're on the communicator and they're trying to explain to him the cryostat. And all right, the key here is patience and consistency. Leonardo, can you hear me well? It couldn't be better. I hope you have a ninja spear with you. I'd never part with him. Donatello continued, Leonardo, you need to cool the end of your spear in a cryostat, but be careful yourself. Okay, I understand, Leonardo replied. Just explain to me in detail what a cryostat is.
That works as Turtles dialogue, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's really close.
I asked the same question, Raphael exclaimed, but now that I know what it is, I can explain it simply and clearly. Leonardo, he turned to his friend, go into that next room. There's a huge jug there. That's the cryostat. I see. I understand that I need to stick the spear inside the jug, and how it cools down in there is no concern to me. I'll ask the rest of the questions about the cryostat later, but what should I do next? Then place the spear next to near the front door. Donatello continued to outline his plan. When Rhino Rook enters, you feign sleep. All we have to do is burst into the lab and stab the old man with the chilled spear.
Incredible.
Yes.
This is very funny hearing someone else read it to you. I'm fucking losing my shit over here.
Yeah. This whole thing, I as much as it would be a great visual, I think you get a strong narrator, and you just read as is. This would be pretty entertaining.
Patrick Stewart.
Make it cold.
Imagine him saying the turtle's cunting.
The turtle's cunting.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, spear for Rhino Rook. He chills the spear, follows through with the plan that they just said. The others are attacked by more dwarves. There's a convoluted thing where they have to climb up to the roof and then climb back down.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. They get to the laboratory. Michelangelo throws the cold spear at Rhino Rook, but it isn't enough to kill him. Using the spear that's lodged into Reineruk, the turtles push the tall man into the cold storage room. Reineruk is dead, but there are still dwarves, and the turtles must close the hell gates to finish this whole thing. Which brings us to the final chapter, chapter 30, the Great Himalayan Fireworks Display. The turtles capture a silver ball and use it as a key to close the hell gate. A different silver ball frees Reineruk from the walk-in. He's still alive. He kicks the turtles into the hell gate. Once again, he ties up April, and he's going to turn her into a bio-robot, but the turtles emerge from the hell gate and sneak towards him. Raphael throws a ball at Reineruk's forehead, begins to drain him. Reineruk crushes the ball with his rhino hands, and in order to survive, he will need some more blood, but he did not know that 20 chapters ago, the blood was laced with hydrochloric acid, and so he's actually dead now. The final ball shows up along with Fripp Tatterdeer, who I also thought was dead, but I guess not.
Yeah, did he not get chopped in half? I don't know.
The ball cores through Fripp's skull. Dwarves come. Michelangelo closes the hell gate. The dwarves are sucked in. Donatello catches the final ball with a plunger, puts it in the cryostat. The hospital explodes. What a fireworks display, Raphael exclaimed. It was worth coming to the Himalayas for this. Yes, Michelangelo agreed. We had a wonderful time here. And most importantly, with adventures, Donatello and Leonardo exclaimed in unison.
High five.
Now we can take a swim in a clean, high mountain lake. April winked slyly at the turtles. The end.
Well, okay. I guess we got an it situation about to happen here.
Oh, yeah.
About to go down to the sewers.
Yeah, everything explodes, and then they have one line, like one joke throwaway line, and it's over. That's how you end this. That's how you end a story.
I tapped the button, like, I'm using my arrow keys to read through this, and I was like, no, that's not it. There's not even a bullshit, like, filling in Splinter chapter, like,
Splinter asks what they did, and they go, oh, nothing much.
Yeah.
And he pulls up a newspaper, and then they all have to do backflips.
He makes a funny.
Yep.
Or even another funny.
So that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the tall old man, his dwarf helpers, and the shiny balls. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
It's easy to read. I wouldn't say that it's good, but it's fun. It's almost too much just a replacement of the Phantasm series to be considered like to have any sort of creativity.
Yeah.
The mashup, it's almost like a bad SNL sketch, like the humor of just pre-selling jokes or repeating the same stuff. Yeah, so it's not really creative with how it incorporates the turtles into the Phantasm universe, or even using the tall man as I think you mentioned before, like, if the tall man becomes a TMNT villain, I think you have to flip it a certain way. Like, he's in New York on their terms. It feels very out of place. That being said, substantially easier to read than the Alien Contact. So much less of a chore, which meant that my focus was more less trying to comprehend what the fuck was going on, and more just having fun with how juvenile it is and how repetitive and overly technical the prose is, to the point where you just start to assume, like, oh, this guy's just got a word count, because this could be what is essentially 162 pages could be 85 pages.
Yes.
But, it brought us together on National Pizza Day, and that's all that matters.
Thank you, Bones.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I've always said that. I got to agree. I think juvenile is a really good way to describe this. I think with the Alien Contact story, I told people, hey, it might sound like you might want to read this, but don't. I think this is perfectly readable. It is something where, and look, if you could get your hands on it, you won't be disappointed. I mean, like, if you've listened this far, you know what you're getting. But it is an easy read. I had fun. I had a lot of fun reading it. I loved the squeezing in of the Phantasm things. And, I like Bones said, it is a little disappointing that they don't come up with more of their own stuff, that they're just like reusing kind of the highlights of the first 3 Phantasm movies. I don't really mind that. I like the idea of kind of forcing Tall Man into more of the mold of a TMNT villain. So like he's noticeably taller, I think they say. I like that he's like maybe a little bit more exaggerated in this to make him more cartoonish. Like that's fun. You know, that it makes it fit with the Turtles. And I would like to see him like, you know, he's the Tall Man, but he's not that tall. Like it would be cool to see him taller and like more imposing. You know, fighting the Turtles. I like all that. He's got some good lines. I do have some complaints about this movie.
Oh yeah, boy, you did.
It was a movie.
You did mention that earlier. That
I have
you
a list of
litany
things.
of complaints.
Yes, so I'm going to just use my overall. And look, yeah, again, like I think this was worth the time to read it. And like Bone said, great that we could come together on National Pizza Day, the holiest of days. I love that. But I do have some things where, if you said to me, "Hey, we're doing a Phantasm TMNT mashup," what things would you expect to see? Or here.
Go off, King.
Oh, here we go. Tall Man coming to New York, how about? Teaming up with the Foot Clan to make ninja dwarves. That would make sense. Bones already said it.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? The Foot Clan would make total sense with the Tall Man. Casey Jones teaming up with Reggie, or even Rocky, the nunchuck-wielding hero from Phantasm 3. Imagine that. They would work so well together. Casey Jones and Rocky or Reggie? Shut up. Bebop and Rocksteady, like at all.
Yeah.
Maybe we even brain and drain one of them for fun.
Well, maybe much like Shredder, they hate the Himalayas.
Could be that.
Maybe that's why they're not in this.
Send them through the dimensional fork. I don't know, but we have these awesome, weird-ass characters that we could play with, and we're not. Casey Jones hitting a Sentinel Sphere with his hockey stick and making a sport joke. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
The Lavender Lady trying to ensnare the Turtles by posing as a beautiful pizza delivery woman.
Ah, yeah, I didn't even think that she is such a huge part of the first movie.
Yes.
She's not even in this.
That would be so funny. She's delivering a pizza and nefarious things are happening. Possibly the biggest thing that seems so obvious to me, Krang Sphere? Anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Wow.
Come on. What are they doing? I don't know. Maybe he's just seen the movies. I don't know, but Krang Sphere is like a huge missed opportunity. Tall Man building Shredder a shiny, more dangerous suit with more spikes and drills.
Yeah. Yep.
Splinter consults the fortune teller and aces the hand in the box test and maybe even teaches her some kind of a lesson. It all is there. And my favorite one, the Turtles, like maybe at the end of the story, convincing Reggie to sell frozen pizzas from his ice cream truck.
Mm. That one would fit in perfectly with the tone of this book.
Yes.
I want a Hell Shredder. I want a Shredder that gets sucked into hell and then comes back.
Oh my God.
All demonic.
And look, we got Super Shredder. That's a thing. But Hell Shredder?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on board.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think I pretty much agree with everything both of you said. I think my main issues are one that I mentioned earlier, where it's just like, it doesn't have the crazy translation to like add an extra layer of entertainment, even though that did make Alien Contact way more difficult to read. My main issue with it is probably the same as Bones, where it's just like, it is just like Phantasm 1, 2, and 3 copy pasted, but instead of Mike, it's Leonardo. So it does lack like creativity, as Bones said. There's not like newness to it. Most of the entertainment comes from like the weird jargon that's throughout, or like the awkward translation.
And why is it in the Himalayas? Why did that need to be the thing?
I have no idea. I mean, I guess like it was written in Russian by a Belarusian author. Like they're just closer to the Himalayas. So maybe it's like a close by, but still exotic locale to set stories in.
Maybe they're thinking visually it would be,
yeah,
more interesting or something. I don't know, but that's a weird choice.
Books, famously a visual medium. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't regret all the time that I've spent with this book, either translating or reading it. Some of the, like, if you ever wanted to see illustrations of the Ninja Turtles standing by while someone is violently murdered with a silver ball, I don't think there's probably anywhere else you could get that unless you commission someone on DeviantArt or something.
The illustrations look like kids' placemat in a restaurant type type
They're
shit.
great.
Yeah.
Some of which I will post on social media, but here's the one Bones was referring to earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Raphael and April in a loving embrace.
I mean, there's one where if somebody was like, oh, define your perfect woman, and you get like a behind shot of April knocking this chick into the flame.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rogue level behind that they've drawn here. Yeah. Oh, a tall redhead with
Yeah.
a big ass. Yeah. Okay. Wait,
Just
this is for children?
Just a picture of a bloodied hand pinned to a wall with a silver spear while Donatello has a self-satisfied smirk.
And look at, is it Raphael in the background?
I think it's
What is he?
Raphael.
Waving.
Just like, fuck yeah, man.
That might be the funniest one.
So yeah,
Yes,
it's,
please.
it's good shit.
Yeah. Please post those.
I will post them.
The drawings are what prompted me to ask you in the chat, like, is this AI? Did somebody just plug, please combine Phantasm and the Turtles? You know, I'm shocked to find out that this is a part of a series, but
Oh yeah. And this one, like, to be quite honest, like, apart from just our attachments to Phantasm as a franchise, like, yeah, there's enjoyment seeing the artwork, but the other ones have like better, more entertaining pictures. And honestly, like the 1 and 2 Russian novelization that I was talking about is not like geared towards children. It has like legitimately awesome artwork in it. So that's a highlight. I mean, it's just, you know, if you listen to the show, it's no secret that novelty is something that gets me off. And what is more novel than a Phantasm Ninja Turtles mid-90s Russian children's book mashup? That's something so weird that I wouldn't come up with it on my own if I was making up fake things.
It's like a dream you would have. It really is.
I mean, I'm sure you played out these exact scenarios with your action figures as a child, DK.
That's right. If I had a disease.
were there Phantasm action figures?
I doubt it.
There are like, you know, there are tall man statuettes and stuff like that, but there's no legit.
Yeah,
I don't think there's like a McFarlane.
There's probably like some NECA stuff from now,
I think
but
so.
there's never like a blister pack of like Reggie and a dwarf.
But imagine all of Reggie's accessories. Oh God, and you could get the different versions of Mike. Don't even get me started on the vehicles. Ugh. And the play sets. I want the mausoleum play set, like the Batman Batcave that turns into Wayne Manor.
Yeah, it would be like this Swamp Thing playset that I had as a kid where it's like there's a laboratory table where like it rotates so you can act like they transform. You have one figure on one side and another figure on the bottom, so you flip it and it's like, oh, he just turned into one of the Unmen.
That's so cool.
I did have to step away for a moment. Did you guys touch on the reverse translation, like the translation in the reflection of the smashed ball?
No, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, there's a part in the book where they're going through the hospital or the mausoleum, and there's some text above a door, and they don't know what it means. And I forget which turtle is like, oh, that's the blah blah blah.
Donatello, probably.
Yeah, because the smashed ball.
Yeah.
He's looking at the reversed reflection, and he's like, and every third letter spells out. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was the last thing that was hanging out. I was like, did I touch on everything that I found ridiculous? But, I mean, mashups just in general are fun. Whether it's, I mean, DK, I know you guys have talked about it on your show. I think I even submitted like a 3-page, like, oh, Back to the Future meets the Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Like, what are those concepts? What I don't like is, oh, this is
just reminded me, I don't have any of them, but there is also a complete series just like this of the cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters, or it's like The Real Ghostbusters versus Phantasm or whatever.
That's awesome. I want to write that right now. But it's so easy to mess it up when you just say, oh, let me take the template or the beats of one and just insert the other thing. That's it. Actually, I said it was a bad SNL sketch. It's more of a bad Mad TV sketch where it's, let's just put this character in this movie and play that out. That annoys the shit out of me. to me, it makes it seem like you're not appreciative of the atmosphere or the overall world. You're just more interested in that baseline story.
I think that's pretty clear. Yeah.
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 And when you're trying to knock out 80 books over a lifetime, I guess.
At least 80
They can't all
books.
be winners. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being here. If there's any Russian listeners out there, I would love to hear what Russia's fascination with Phantasm is. And like, does it go deep at all? Like,
and if you hear anything, please let me know. I gotta know this stuff.
Is it something that you could bring up in casual conversation to Russians of a certain age and everyone knows, like, oh yes, of course, Phantasm. I want to know. But yeah, that was what's the title? Let me scroll back up to find the whole title of this. That was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Old Man, His Dwarf Helpers, and the Shiny Balls from 1995. Thank you, DK and Bones, for not only coming on this episode, but taking the time to read this entire book.
I look forward to season 2, man.
I look forward to having you guys back in a few months.
Thank you for having me. As always, love the show. I appreciate the invite. I'd be happy to come back anytime, but I'm also so stoked to hear what you have in store.
Yeah, should be good. Should be good. I look forward to everything we have lined up for this year. So I guess at this point, plug anything that you guys have in the work with regards to your shows or just in life.
I've got nothing interesting. Why don't we talk about what DK's up to?
Well, listen, if you have to listen to 5 Day Rentals. That's Bones isn't saying it, but I'm saying it. 5 Day Rentals, you must. And look, you probably already know this, but it's a great show. Please make sure you listen to that. As far as I am concerned, I do have DK and Dan Like Bands, and I have Nerd Geeks in the Kitchen Sink, and those are both fun shows, and I hope people listen to them. I also have Letters to Dracula. We put a EP out in October that I hope people check out called Fang Mail. And related to Phantasm, I have a Phantasm related EP, artist named Dkreft, DKREFFT, and it's called The Mausoleum. And there's 3 tracks that I was inspired by Phantasm. So check that out on Bandcamp or wherever. That's all. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I look forward to your next EP, The Turtles Cunting. Season 2, all those things that I just mentioned, but also upcoming, should have be doing another showing at the Guild Cinema, looking like April 18th, and also looking as if it's going to be a movie that was mentioned on your podcast recently, DK. It's looking like it's going to be The Wraith.
Are you kidding me?
Film that I'll be showing.
That is wonderful. How fun is that? Oh, I hope people can go to that. That's really cool.
I hope so too. I think there's a lot of people that have mixed feelings on that film. I like it.
Why? Because they hate fun?
Yeah. Be on the lookout for it. I'm sure I'll put an ad for that at the beginning of the shows if that ends up being what it is, and whenever I get a date nailed down. So that's all I got. On behalf of DK and Bones, I'm Chris, and this has been another episode of Dead Formats. See you later.
Bonsai.
Cowabunga, dudes.